Hi friends, the Election Commission of India has conducted special intensive revision in some parts of our country. So the people whose name has been left out of the electoral rolls due to the special intensive revisions specifically belonging to the West Bengal has approached the Supreme Court to enable them to vote in the upcoming assembly elections on a temporary basis even though their names are not in the electoral rolls. Supreme Court has rejected their request. Now let us understand the whole story, what is happening in the background, what is SIR, etc. West Bengal's election will be conducted in two phases, April 23 and April 26, 2026. That is, the first phase will be conducted in something like 1 week from today. As a part of this, the Election Commission of India had conducted special intensive revision of the state's electoral rolls. This revision of electoral rolls removed 2.7 million voters for the upcoming assembly elections. What is SIR? Let's understand what is SIR. Special Intensive Revision is a large-scale door-to-door checking exercise run by the Election Commission of India before big elections, in this case the West Bengal Assembly elections, to update and clean up the voter list. They include new eligible voters. At the same time, they remove ineligible entries such as deceased voters, duplicate registration, non-resident voters, and so on. SIR is not an ordinary revision, it is a special and intensive revision as the name suggests because it involves extra fieldwork, tighter scrutiny, and more hearings precisely to reduce controversies about voters' list. In practice, during SIR, the SIR officer goes to each house and asks, was your name in the 2002 electoral roll? 2002 has been selected as a base year to make the to decide if a person's name has to include or be deleted from the electoral list. So the officer asks if their name was in the 2002 electoral roll. If not, give your parents or grandparents details that might be in that 2002 rolls. If the answer and documentation don't allow a clear match with any recorded 2002 entry, then that voter is tagged as unmapped. Being unmapped does not automatically mean deletion. Such voters are often put in a special category and given a chance to submit extra documentary proof to show that they are genuine residents eligible to vote. SIR was conducted in 13 states and union territories. From the states where already the election has been over, like Bihar, where the first SIR was conducted. It has been conducted to Chhattisgarh, Goa, Gujarat, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep, and Puducherry. Of all these states, the most problems or the most protest against SIR has been happening in West Bengal because many illegal people have migrated from, not migrated, infiltrated from Bangladesh, and many such people are there in the electoral rolls. Anyway, overall, 9 million voters or 12% of the voters were struck off the electoral roll in all these 13 states. What are the reasons for removal from electoral roll? First, deceased or deemed absent. Second is unmapped to the 2002 electoral roll, which we just saw. And logical discrepancy. What is logical discrepancy? In this SIR, the Election Commission of India has made use of AI. And AI has a set of algorithms that decide if a person should be logically in the electoral roll. That five logics include mismatch in parents' name. If the father's or mother's name on the current electoral form does not match their recorded name in the 2002 electoral roll, such voters will be removed. Second, abnormal age gap between voter and parent. The age difference between the voter and the parent is less than about 15 years or more than about 50 years, which the algorithm treats as implausible biologically. That is, the difference between the parents should between 15 and 50 years, else they will be removed. More than 6 progeny linked to the same ancestor. That is, if a single parent is shown as the legal parent for more than 6 people, again such people has to give extra documentary proofs. Mismatch in parents' ages or age gap between parents. The declared ages of the parents have a large gap, for example 60 or 70, or if the pairs ages do not match earlier records, then also their names will be removed. Abnormal age gap with grandparents or extended family issues. The age difference between the voter and the grandparents is too small, or the data shows incoherent family trees. For example, a person is appearing as both the child and a parent of a particular person X, then also the names will be removed. The logic behind such logical discrepancies have been criticized. Why? Because it has led to some members in the same family being in the electoral rolls while others being removed. Some voters having decades long voting histories were also left out. What to do if a name is removed from the electoral roll? Suppose your name has been removed from the electoral roll during the special intensive revision. Then you can appeal to a judicial tribunal which is available to all the 13 states in which the SIR was conducted. But due to the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's special request to Supreme Court has allowed the Election Commission to set up a special appellate tribunal, 19 special appellate tribunals to hear appeals against the name exclusion, even in after the judicial tribunal step. Now, this is only for West Bengal, not for any other state. These tribunals, the problem is that these tribunals do not have a fixed timeline to finish the hearings. That means before the West Bengal elections that is going to happen in a week's time, people may not see their names added back to their electoral rolls. So the people whose name has been removed from the electoral roll approached Supreme Court and asked for temporary voting rights in the upcoming elections. Court declined to accept that request. Actually, SIR tried to remove the people who might have infiltrated into West Bengal from Bangladesh. But data shows that along with such Muslims who have infiltrated, many Hindu peoples are also out of the electoral roll due to this SIR process. This together raises question about the whole SIR process on the way it has been conducted. To conclude, in a democracy, the right to vote is one of the most essential ways citizens exercise their democratic power. Even if a single genuine voter is deprived of that right due to a flaw in the process, it weighs heavily on the democratic legacy of India. Thank you.